So what I'd like to do is to give you a basic overview of a lot of the kind of the core functions of Python. The easiest way to play around with Python, especially if you're on a Mac, is to go into your terminal application. You can find that in Utilities, and then you just type Python into the console, and it'll bring up a Python compiler for you. So you can type in any Python command into this prompt and get results, play around a little bit with the language and how it works. It's a great way to test out code. If you're using Windows, you'll have to do a little bit more setup in order to work in Python, but I'll put some instructions on how to do that at the bottom of this page. So the first thing to take a look at is mathematical operators. Mathematical operators in Python work very much like they do in mathematics. So 6 plus 7 is 13, 3 minus 2 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Notice that you use the star and the slash for multiplication and division. That's fairly common, easiest way to do it. The two operators you're probably not familiar with are the modulo operator and the exponential operator. The modulo operator is a very useful operator when you're coding, and even though you may not understand its use cases right now, just know that when you get further on in this, you'll be using it all the time. What the modulo operator does is it gives you the remainder after the division of an integer happens. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, but the remainder is 0. So 6 modulo 2 will give me 0. 7 modulo 2 will give me 1, because 7 modulo 2, or 7 divided by 2 is 3 with a remainder of 1. This will become very important later on, but it's a different concept to get a hold of if you've never coded before, so just understand that. The other operator I want you to take a look at is the exponent operator. So the cube of 2 is 8. So 2 to the third power is 8. You use a double star for cubes. The other operators that you'll use relatively often are logical operators. The logical operators in Python are really easy because they are exactly the same operators that you would use in the English language. So in order to show this to you, I'm going to use truth values. These in programming languages are often called Boolean values, and that actually goes back to one of the founders of computer science, a man named George Boole, and the idea is that something can either be true or it can be false. A lot of binary programming is based on that very idea, that something's either true or it's false. So when someone talks about a Boolean value, they're talking about a value of truth or falsity. In Python, you use the word true in order to denote truthhood, and you use the word false in order to denote falsehood. Notice that both of these words are capitalized. It's very important in Python to make sure that you capitalize them, or the compiler will not understand what you're talking about. So your logical operators are the operators that you would normally use in logic in the real world. The operators that you use in logic are the operators and the operator or. What the AND operator does is it takes two sides of the equation and it compares them. If both sides of the equation are true, then it returns true. If one side of the equation is false, the AND operator will return false, because you're basically asking whether both sides are true values. Now, the OR operator will look at either side of the equation and will return true if either side is true. So for an OR, the only way that you can get false is if both sides are false. Now the other operator that you'll use in Python is the NOT operator. Not true is false, and not false is true. It's as simple as that. It's really just like it is in English. That's it as far as mathematical and logical operators go. Take a look at the next video to look at different value types and how to set variables in Python.